Go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Drop the Clutch. This is episode 5. My name is Ruth, and I am joined by Nick there, and our special guest today is Sam. Would you like to introduce yourself, Sam?
Hello there, everyone. I'm Samuel. As you can see behind me on my wall here, I'm a massive speedway fan. And we like to try and keep fans entertained, like as we're doing now over the winter months. While the season's off, and obviously this is a great opportunity now for me to catch up with these folks and talk about the sport that we all love and hope you guys enjoy it, what we're doing, and then roll on for March as well next season.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait for March now that Bellevue have announced their team.
Oh, what a team. Dan Bewley.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Lids is going to do around the NSS again.
Yeah, and the new rising star, is it Jake Mulford, is it? 'Cause Tom Brennan's moved up.
Yeah, Mulford's been riding for the Colts, though, for the last year or so he's already familiar with Bellevue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a team. Whether or not they can defend the title's another matter, but
I think they'll give it a good go.
I think Mark Lemon's. I saw on social media that when he got interviewed, that he's very impressed with his team for next season, and obviously having Dan Bewley back, he'll put a big show on because obviously he's done really well in the Grand Prix, hasn't he, this season? Obviously he won Cardiff, and then was it Gorzoff as well?
No, Roslav.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, he won his home. Yeah, he won the home British one and his home track in Poland.
Yeah, I can see a proper world champion in him for the future, and I know he's
definitely, yeah.
Speedway of Nations world champion, British champion as well. So,
and he was a runner-up in the SON last year.
That's it. That's
when the Aussies won it.
Because I think I remember when I first ever saw Dan Bewley ride for the Bellevue Colts in the National League, and he was absolutely fantastic. And then obviously he's been with Workington as well in Glasgow and Edinburgh. So I think with Edinburgh he wasn't very old either.
It was his first season.
I say he's not that old now, is he?
He's a year older than me, isn't he? 23.
Yeah.
He's...
I always enjoyed watching Bewley.
He did really well in Sweden as well. Was it Sweden?
Yes, he won the title with Smederna.
That's the Badger, yeah. His team won up there. So, he seems to be the golden boy of the moment.
Yeah. Everybody's just sort of pushed Tyrrell into the side and like, oh, Dan Bewley's the golden boy now.
Yeah, it's like a flip of the coin between Dan and Rob, innit? Depending on what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
because obviously Lambo's doing phenomenal in all his various leagues, and he did really well in the GPs last year as well.
Yeah, Robert Lambert, he's definitely coming on. But the question is like, well, I think it was towards the end of this season. I think it was towards like the playoff sort of thing. There was rumours saying that he signed for Bellevue, but obviously we knew those rumours weren't true. So
rumours are rumours, not all of them are true.
Rumours, that's the thing. You just don't know if they're true or not, do you?
Yeah, because I heard, like I said in a chat with Ruth, there was terrace talk, as I call it, that he's potentially signed up for next year alongside Dan Bewley, and I was like, I can't see that.
Although then again, with the rumours of Tom Brennan going to Birmingham, and then he did a U-turn and went back to Glasgow, so...
But
and then there's the Josh Pickering rumour as well. He was like, oh yeah, Josh Pickering's going to be Birmingham's number one. Nope.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you look at Brum now, but your Brum is now, I mean, you haven't got a bad team, really. When you look at it, you've got Nick Morris will be at number one, won't he?
Yeah.
And then you've got James Wright in there as well, and Justin Sedgman will be your other heat leader. So that's
Quality
not a
rider.
bad team, really.
I reckon James Wright's got it in him to be a heat leader as well. He's on a bargain average, but as he said last night at the Christmas party, he's not there to just score 5 points every week. He's there to get double figures.
That's true. Yeah.
Nah, so he's not there to make up the numbers. He wants to actually put points on the board, and
he wants to try and challenge Sedgman for the number 5 race jacket at Birmingham next season, or even try and challenge Nick Morris at number 1.
Well, why not? If he's got the ability to do so, then why not?
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think it'll just give James Shanes and Ashley Morris time to, because obviously they've been a bit on and off, haven't they? I don't know whether they'll be signing for a team or unless if they're taking a break.
Shainesy's gone to Redcar.
Yeah, Shainesy's gone to Redcar, yeah. Ashley Morris, nobody at the moment.
I think the rumours going around is that he's retired, but I don't know how true that is. Again, it's another rumour.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting season, that's for sure. And obviously, Peterborough needs to get a move. Well, obviously, Peterborough haven't announced anybody yet, have they?
I was just going to say, have the Panthers even announced a single rider yet?
I've heard they've got a full team, but again, I don't know how true it is.
Be interesting to see who they will.
Names I've heard so far include Chris Olber, Niels Christian Everson,
Matty Zagar.
Yes, Zagar going to Peterborough. Yeah.
They'd be a good top 3, wouldn't they? They would.
If he wants to ride in the UK and Peterborough offering a team spot, I wouldn't put it past him. Although I know his heart's at Bellevue, isn't it, Nick? So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how true they are. But yeah,
who do you think will be for their rising star? Then, so obviously Jordan Paling's pulled out for next season. So obviously
Jordan Jenkins. I reckon.
Yeah. Interesting. And obviously, Kings Lynn aren't a bad team either. But obviously, that's the thing. Is like you said to me the other night. If Christoph
they rely a lot on Kasperzak, yeah. Because if I remember correctly, when he rode for Birmingham quite a few years back, he was pretty bad. So the Kings Lynn team definitely depends on him turning up every week.
That's the thing. So, obviously, what I was saying the other night, when I saw that announcement for Glasgow, have you seen it as well, Nick? Of Klaus Vizin signing for for Glasgow. I was like, oh gosh.
Don't get me started on that. I won't stop.
No, I wouldn't sign him ever. Really, no.
No, don't get me started on that. I won't stop. Oh, Nick's gone. Hang on.
Action.
God, I hate technology sometimes, I tell you.
Some people say we want to go back to pen and paper these days.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So what were we talking about now? Was it Kings Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was that guy going to Glasgow.
Oh, Klaus Vizin, yeah.
That's him, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just because obviously, he's a funny. Like, sorry to bring this up, but this is just the example. It's like when I've seen with last season when he signed for the Brums, he didn't really turn up to every single meeting, did he? He just he never turned up with he didn't turn up. He had no reason. You know what I mean? He let us down big time.
He asked for more money mid-season, which is why Nigel said no. I've been told this. This is true. He asked for more money mid-season, and the club said no, which is why he practically just did a nope, bye. which is why he left.
Just turned up and made up the numbers.
But obviously, having like Justin Sedgman, he's been absolutely fantastic for the Brummies this season. So's Josh Pickering when he's been guesting, and Tom Brennan as well.
Yeah, Ruth and I were discussing Tom the other day how it'd be a dream come true for him to be at the Brummies and the Aces at the same time.
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind. It would have been that.
There's always 24, isn't there?
Yeah,
there is. I am actually surprised because he's not keen on Glasgow that much, is he?
No, I'm shocked that he didn't go to Perry Bar, to be truthful, because he goes good round there. Well,
yeah.
It was
really
money. From what I've heard, Birmingham could only offer him £40 a point.
Yeah.
But at Glasgow, they were offering him 3 times that per point.
Well,
at
just says it all, doesn't it? Says it all,
don't
money
know.
talks.
I literally don't know how true that is, but, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's just like, because obviously a few riders have left Glasgow, haven't they? Like Craig Cook's left.
He's going to Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, yeah, I've been hearing that. And Conor Bailey
Cookie's jumping across. Oh.
That's, yeah. Well, he started at Edinburgh and then went to Glasgow, so basically he's just going back.
Oh, I know, but that's still...
Yeah.
And obviously Conor Bailey's left Glasgow as well.
Where's he off to now?
He hasn't currently got a championship spot.
Is he not? Right.
I know he's got a National League spot and he's riding out in Poland in the Under-24 league. It hasn't been announced where he's riding in the National League yet, so I can't say anything. But yeah, that's all he's got at the moment.
Right.
And I see that Scott Nichols is only riding for Oxford in the Championship and he's not riding in the Premiership next season.
Because he's riding out in Poland.
Yeah.
He's riding... Aren't they like a League 3 team in Poland or something, though?
Yeah, it's the team Tom Brennan rode for this year. It's Kolejarz Roritz or something along those lines.
Oh, Lewis.
I'm very sorry to any Polish viewers if I just completely butchered that.
Yeah, because Tom's moved up to the second league now, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Lodged now, I think. Again, sorry for butchering any names.
I absolutely love watching, watching Tom Brennan. He's just, the way he's going.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen how his average has gone up now. Like you watch what he'll be like in the future as well. No doubt he will be a Grand Prix rider if he carries on the way he's going.
I was just gonna say that.
I'd be very surprised if he does not make the Team GB World Cup squad next season. Because we were talking about it on Discord earlier, and I said the Team GB side would be Ty Wolff and then Dan Bewley, Robert Lambert, Tom Brennan and Leon Flint. Easy.
Yeah.
I can completely agree with that. Like you said, Leon's the under-21 champion.
He is.
And under-19 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's perfect for that berth, isn't he?
No brainer.
Yeah, he's come on. Leon Flint's come on a lot.
And then you've got the 3 GP riders to lead, and then you've got the under-21s GP, is it, for Tom Brennan?
Yeah. He's 21 now, so he's...
No, but he was in the under-21 GPs this season gone. That's what I meant,
Leon
sorry.
can get into that next season.
I can't see why he wouldn't.
Although Tom was like this far off qualifying, wasn't he? And then, he didn't get a wild card pick because of politics.
Because what was it? Leon won the under-18s and the under-21s in one season last year. So there you go. If he
sort of had a bit of advantage because he started his career at the track he won the under-21s on. So
yeah, but that's by the by, isn't it? Dan Bewley started his career at Bellevue and then won the British Championship.
That is very true.
So it's not a disadvantage at the end of the day because.
No, it's a very good advantage. Yeah. Especially if you've got that knowledge.
Yeah, but the track's changed over the years, hasn't it? I know it's not going to have changed dramatically, but new shale. It's machinery's changed, so it'll be getting graded slightly different now, so on and so forth. So, Dan Bewley's been away 2 years, call it, for argument's sake, by the time he actually comes and rides back at Bellevue. So that's a lot of change in time, isn't it? And even with the weather and the way the track's going to react to the weather, that changes from night to night, as we've all seen. I get what you're saying, though. It can't physically change. It's still going to be 20 meters wide. It's still going to be 300 meters long. But it's
the weather has a big effect on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at Ipswich signing Keenan Rue as well, because I think Jason Dull got him over, didn't they?
Apparently so, yes.
Yeah.
He'll be lucky to be fit for the start of the European season. He's broke his back.
I was just going to say, what's happened to him? I've heard that he's had quite a bad injury, but...
He crashed at a meeting in Australia that he was competing in, and of course, I don't think they've got very good air fences out there, so he hit a wooden fence.
I don't think they've got very good track safety full stop over there from what I've seen of the tracks.
Yeah.
And,
no offence to Australian Speedway and whatnot, but seriously, invest in some air fences.
Because it was like that a couple of years ago here, though, wasn't it? With bloody wooden boards, put at angles like that to try and take the impact and stuff.
Although, when Birmingham first reopened back in 2007, we didn't have an air fence at the track. It was a wooden fence. It's only when we moved up to the Elite League in 2011 that we had to have an air fence put in.
Yeah.
Rules have changed now. Everywhere needs an air fence, so I suppose it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good thing, because look at the accidents at Bellevue alone this year that people have survived because of them air fences.
Very true.
I've seen
Bomber?
I've seen that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Bomber in the pairs.
I've seen loads of accidents. When I went to the Speedway of Nations last season at Bellevue, watching Ty Woodenden smack, we were right next to where it happened. It was...
We were practically right in front of it on the south stand when he crashed.
I was going to say in S5.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also saw Jakob Thorsell and Pontus Aspergun as well for Sweden. So they withdrawn from the meeting, and then we had for Sweden they had that fantastic young Philip
Hellstrom-Bangs, yeah.
He needs to get a team place over here. We need to see him week in, week out.
I'd love to see him at the Colts. He's probably too old for the Colts. Well, yeah, because didn't he score something like 20 points all by himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Because
in the final tallies.
Yeah. I like watching him. He was like, he was just fantastic. He didn't give up. He was just, you could see he was just trying his hardest. We're like, go on.
Exactly.
I mean,
he was against Bewley and Lambert and still going for it, wasn't he? It's like you're riding against two absolutely amazing track specialists at this track and still going for it.
The second day, he was in a race against Poland.
Yeah.
And he was riding against Magic Janoski, and that move he pulled off around Janoski as he literally boarded the fence. I was like, hang on, where did you find that from?
He'd been speaking to Charles Wright just beforehand, hadn't he?
Obviously, yeah.
Because Charles Wright used to ride the boards, didn't he? Literally.
He's one crazy rider, he is.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him the other day. Like Hayley Bromley was like, "Welcome back to Bellevue for next season. How are you feeling?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm back to the old Charles Wright." And she's like, "Oh, going to be riding the boards again." And he's like, "Yep."
Jeez, don't injure anybody.
Well, no, we need to have a season where we have a full team for away meetings this year.
Yeah, I was at that meeting at Redcar in Glasgow back in the summer when Charles Wright took out Craig Cook's front wheel. I don't think it was on purpose. Lord, I don't actually know if it was on purpose or if it was like, accidental. But
Incident.
it was horrible the way Craig Cook hit the wooden boards on the back straight at red car. Again, it's another incident I was right in front of. It did not look pretty.
No, I can imagine it wouldn't have. Speedway crashes aren't pretty anyway because of the speed and everything.
This is true.
When I see a bad speedway accident, if it's really, 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 really bad, I don't know whether you get this feeling, but I when you see it happen, you're like, oh, I felt that.
Yeah. I do that at hockey matches when the players get checked up against the boards. And I'm like, oh, I felt that.
When Bomber had that crash in the pairs, I was like to my mate, I went, oh my God, I felt every motion of that. And I felt physically sick watching it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I
will say
I was on bend 2 at the time, so I was looking straight across the track at it.
I will say the worst speedway crash I've ever seen was Mitchell Davies at Birmingham. The crash that nearly killed him. I never want to see anything like that again. I think he got hit by all 4 bikes. I talked to him to this day, and he still doesn't know what happened really that night. And he got hit by 4 bikes, and he hit the air fence himself. And I swear, Leon Flint went out on track with him, and if it wasn't for the ambulance staff at Perry Bar, he wouldn't be here now.
Wow.
Who else was in that race heat as well? Was it Callum Walker or somebody?
I can't remember. I'd rather not remember if it's all the same. But yeah.
Yeah, Mitchell Davey. Oh. I think I remember. I can't think of his name. I can't think of this rider's name, but somebody who else I know who used to love watching the speedway and everything. He loves his motorbikes and stuff. But I can't think of his name. Who this rider was? He did tell me. I can't remember who he is, but he said this was at Wolverhampton. He said that the one season he saw this terrible accident. This rider came off his bike and he must have leaned forward, and then his hand must have got trapped in the bar or something. And then he saw something
feeling
flying,
that, and I'm not even seeing it.
he saw something fly in the air. He says he thought it's something that came off his bike. He thought something must have come off his bike. Found out he lost 3 of his fingers.
Oh, you dirty bastard!
He said he was on the floor. He said he was on the floor in agony as well. I says I can imagine he would, losing 3 of your fingers. Horrible,
like that.
His fingers obviously got caught in the spokes.
Yeah. Because things like that do happen, don't they, in the sport?
Of course they do. They happen on a push bike, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's why my hand does that. Yeah, that's why my hand does that.
Childhood injury coming back to bite me on the backside.
I've seen too many accidents, but the thing is, with speedway riders, they seem to get up and carry on, don't they?
But it just goes to show the safety gear they wear and the equipment, and like MotoGP riders when they're coming off at 200 miles an hour, bouncing off the floor, getting up and walking away.
Yeah,
and you're like, that is because of the equipment they're wearing.
Same with the Isle of Man TT. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. When you see these, they get flung off cliffs and all sorts, don't they? They get up and they're like, oh, that hurt. And you're like, what?
It's all on roads as well, isn't it? Isle of Man TT.
Yeah.
So, when they apparently this year about 8 riders on there have got killed this year.
Yeah.
And that shows how dangerous it is.
It's a yearly statistic that it's around 10 riders a year, because some of the roads are like country lanes that are on crests like that. So down either sides, hills and all sorts. It's phenomenal to watch, but I can't imagine riding it.
Maybe they need to invest in some air fences as well.
It'd be great to watch it, but not have a go at it.
Yeah, definitely.
I can imagine the atmosphere would be fantastic because everything's great. Watching it live better than on telly, isn't it?
The atmosphere looked great on Woofy's vlog that he did from the TT.
Yeah. Woofenden, yeah.
Yeah, he went over with John McGuinness and a couple of the other monster riders, didn't he? And they had a little party over there.
Yeah, John McGuinness and wasn't Peter Hickman as well, was it?
Or
No.
Greg Hancock.
Yeah, that's it. We met John McGuinness at Motorcycle Live.
Yeah, we did. Peter Hickman was there as well, and I was hoping.
I've met McGuinness at Bellevue.
I was hoping Guy Martin would have tagged along, but you know,
I had the most awkward conversation with John McGuinness I've ever had with a person. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get past you so I can talk to Dan Bewley.
Well, we had a chat, you know, at least we had a chat with Robert Lambert and Dan Bewley, and obviously Jason. I saw Jason Crump there as well.
Oh, was it one of those where you say that and you're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realise it was you, Mr. McGuinness"?
Yeah. And I just recoiled and I went bright red and I was like, oh crap.
Oh, gutted.
Another question I saw on social media, I bet you guys have seen it as well. Nicky Pedersen is the new Danish team manager.
He's not planning on giving up riding either. So
and he's
going to be a rider manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like football where there's player managers.
Yeah, that's what I say. Is he going to be a rider manager?
Do you know, it's a shame.
Sorry, that was my puppy.
Because if it was something to do with if we didn't have COVID like we did in 2020, which we did, but obviously he signed for Sheffield that season, didn't he? He was going to sign for Sheffield, Nicky Pedersen.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine how different things would be if we'd had the 2020 season?
Yeah.
Ooh, there's an episode idea.
But didn't Scunthorpe had a meeting, didn't they, in 2020, didn't they?
Yes, I went.
And was it with Wayne Carter was riding in it? And you said, yeah. Leicester
Lion Cubs versus the Scunthorpe Stags. That was the only speedway meeting I went to that year.
The Eddie Wright Raceway. It looks a good track to go to.
It's very cold because it's all out in the open. So if you ever go, take layers.
Well, what I've seen on YouTube and stuff, I've seen there's like wind turbines in the distance as well.
It's literally in the middle of an industrial estate. It's on a field in the middle of an industrial estate.
Nice.
Yeah. Although,
that's how they get around the noise pollution.
Yeah, most tracks are like out in the middle of nowhere these days. And like, wait, where's Buxton Speedway? It's out in the middle of the Peak District, in the hills, in the middle of nowhere. Do you know how I know this? I've been and got soaked.
Yeah, apparently it was very cold at that one.
Do you think? So I've been hearing this by what I got sent by you, Ruth, as well. That whether you heard, Nick, about Coventry coming back with the Brandon Stadium. But obviously it's still in a mess, we know. But
there's been there's been another development in that. I think that there's been another hearing or something, and we're all hoping that it'll lead to a buyback order from the council. So the stadium has to be bought from Brandon Estates, but fingers crossed. It would be nice to have Speedway back in Coventry. Not saying from experience, because the city is also another home to me, obviously because of the Blaze. Obviously,
and have the bees, Coventry Bees back as well. And
it'd be nice to have, all these teams that have disappeared. Like, it'd be awesome to get the Robins back if we could. And
Bradford
as well. Track there.
I know Swindon have got a track, but so I mean, it'd be awesome to get all these teams back and like literally have a 10-team Premiership and a 10-team Championship and a 10-team NDL.
Definitely.
Bradford as well in Somerset and
there's been
was that the Case Rebels, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's been a development for Somerset this week. They're actually looking at a plot of land in Weston. It's in last week's Speedway Star, the Rory Schlein one. But there's been a development on that. They're looking at a piece of land in Weston-super-Mare because the Weston-super-Mare Council wants speedway in the town as well. So.
Oh, awesome! If the council are wanting it and the town's wanting it, that's brilliant.
They'll just. I
Tell you
think.
who I'd love to see back on track. My team, Cradley.
I was going to say the Heathens. Even before you'd said it, I thought the Heathens.
I don't know because would Nigel Tully abandon the Brummies if the Heathens came back? That's the problem.
It's such a shame because the old Dudley Wood was fantastic when it. The track was really good. Because my dad used to go a lot as a kid as well, like when he was young, watching when Cradley were riding, and I said the track was fantastic. And when he was going, he had his heroes and stuff when they were riding, like Eric Gunderson, Billy Hamill, Pedersen, all of those riders. They were.
Greg
It's just a
Hancock.
shame it's gone. Greg Hancock, and Simon Cross, Alan Graham.
Flipping heck, there's some names there.
Yeah.
We've got to think about wrapping this up because we've got 4 minutes left.
Oh, no.
We'll be switching to a new system in the new year, so we'll be able to have longer episodes in the new year.
Yeah, we'll get you back, Sam. It's been a good chat with yourself.
I'd love to join again. Thank you for having me on tonight as well. I've really enjoyed it.
Not a problem, mate.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
No, please don't worry, folks. It's one of those things. I was more than happy to wait a bit longer.
Yeah. Well, as we saw tonight, I had a nightmare. My phone decided no Zoom. I'm not going to play anymore.
Nope.
So it's just technology in it and timing.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare. It's nothing you can do about it.
I've got kids as well, so that doesn't make it any easier.
All right. I will. With that, I will. Right. We're all gonna say goodbye. So it's bye from me.
See you later.
Bye. And by the way, I hope you do have a Merry Christmas as well, and hope we catch you in the new year as well again.